Good morning and welcome to Treetops Raceway Park, home of the crossover. Together with our partners, Bay City Diecast Racing, Tiny Track Cars, and Funkhouser Diecast Racing, we bring you the National Super Truck Series Championship Race. These four drivers have competed over 4 tracks, and these are the top 4 points getters over those 4 tracks. And now they come back to Treetops to settle the score for the championship. There are the 4 drivers. We've got a nice crowd in the stands. We've got the Mystery Machine and the Banana Truck. I want to thank our sponsor, Merch by Meekin. Here are the top 10 track times. You'll need a 9.356 to get on the board. And I want to thank Glenn Harding for this original artwork that he did for us. And now let's go down to pit road reporter Lane Hoosier.
Good morning, y'all. This is Lane Hoosier from the pit road. We've got a great race today with Flip, Daddy G, Sneaky Bob, and Farrell Patrick. Daddy G is leading the points right now with 56. Flip has 55, Farrell Patrick with 52, and Sneaky Bob with 45. I'm here with the current points leader, Daddy G. Daddy G, you have a 1-point advantage going into this last race. How are you feeling about your chances to bring the championship home?
Well, honestly, I'm not too optimistic about winning this whole thing. Flip is only 1 back, and he's a legend, and he just knows how to win. And you got Farrell Patrick, he's only 4 back, and his truck keeps getting faster. And Sneaky Bob, well, he could sweep everyone on his home track. So I'm just extremely grateful to even be in the position I'm in, and just to be in contention at this point.
What is your strategy to keep the number 4 truck in the front of the pack?
My strategy is pretty simple. Keep it wheel side down and finish every race, and let's see what happens.
Well, good luck to you, Daddy G. Now let's move over here and talk to the fast qualifier, Flip. You were the fast qualifier and led the points when you left Treetops after the first leg. How are you feeling about your chances of leaving here with a championship?
I think we got a really good chance today. Last time we were here, the crew had the truck set up really good. It was dialed in, had some speed. We was able to run a clean race. That's going to be the biggest thing. If we can do that, I don't see no reason we can't hoist this trophy at the end of the day.
Well, good luck to you, Flip. Now let's check in with Farrell Patrick, currently sitting 3rd in points. Farrell, how are you feeling about being back at Treetops with the number 43 truck?
I have to say I'm a bit surprised that I made it this far. I'm also very excited to see what happens, but I'm mostly honored to be racing against 3 of the best in the field.
What must you do to overcome that 4-point deficit and leave here with the championship?
What must I do? Well, I must stay consistent and hope that race luck stays on my side, because I am definitely going to need it.
Let's now check in with old Sneaky Bob. Sneaky, you're sitting 4th in points. What are your chances of overcoming that 11-point deficit and taking the title?
My chances are slim and none. I would say Daddy G, Flip, and Farrell are all running very well right now, and I don't believe I can catch them.
What is your strategy going into the last 8 laps?
My strategy is to cause as much chaos as possible. I need everyone in front of me to have multiple DNFs for me to have a shot at that championship.
This is Lane Hoosier. Now let's turn it over to Chase Jessel to call the races.
Thank you, Lane. This is Chase Jessel, and I will be calling the races for you today. And let's head into lap 1. Here we go with finals. Lap 1. We have Flip and Daddy G in the front row, Sneaky Bob and Patrick in the back row, and they're off. And here they go into turn 1, heading down into turn 2. And it looks like Daddy G will come out with the lead, followed by Flip and Farrell Patrick. Farrell Patrick gives Flip a little nudge. There they go into the final turn. Daddy G is going to take the win, followed by Flip, Farrell Patrick, and here comes Sneaky Bob bringing up the rear. A 9.786 for old Daddy G. Right there you see Daddy G get by Flip. And Farrell closes in. So here are the points. Daddy G with 5, Flip with 3, Sneaky Bob with 1, Farrell with 2. Now let's head into finals lap 2. We have Sneaky Bob and Flip on the front row, Farrell, Patrick, Daddy G in the back row, and they're off. We go into turn 1. Looks like Sneaky Bob is going to pull the hole shot, followed by Farrell, Patrick, and Flip. Daddy G gets by Flip, and he gets by Farrell Patrick as well. Sneaky Bob has gone off and left him. Here comes Daddy G and Farrell. Here comes Flip in reverse. There goes Sneaky Bob in the final turn. Daddy G just did a flip around. Alright, Farrell Patrick slowed down quite a bit. And here comes Flip. We got a 9.658 for Sneaky Bob. Sneaky Bob gets a hole shot, followed by Farrell Patrick and Flip. Daddy G goes to the outside and gets by both of them. Farrell Patrick and Flip is able to maintain that position and pull away and come in for second. So now we have Daddy G with 8, Sneaky Bob with 6, Flip and Farrell Patrick are tied with 4. And now let's move into lap 3. You have Farrell Patrick, Sneaky Bob in the front row, and they're off. After the first turn, it looks like Farrell Patrick's got the lead. Here comes Sneaky Bob on the inside. He gets some help by Flip. Flip gets hung up on the wall. Farrell Patrick is going to take off. He's spun around as in reverse. Followed by Sneaky Bob, Daddy G. Here comes Flip. There goes Farrell Patrick into the final turn in reverse. Here comes Sneaky Bob and Daddy G, and then Flip. We have a 10.539 for Farrell Patrick. Right here you see Sneaky Bob gets by Daddy G. And gets some help from Flip. And right there you see Flip got up on the wall, but he luckily come back down and was able to finish the race. So now Daddy G with 10, Sneaky Bob and Farrell Patrick are tied with 9, and Flip has 5. Let's move on to lap 4. You have Daddy G and Farrell Patrick in the front row, followed by Flip and Sneaky Bob, and they're off. They're going to the first turn. It looks like Daddy G has got a slight lead. Here comes Farrell Patrick. Daddy G will close the door. Sneaky Bob gives Farrell Patrick a little bump and another bump. Daddy G gets spun around, but he ended up, it looks like Farrell Patrick has got on the inside of Daddy G. And he does, and he makes that pass. Daddy G spins, Sneaky Bob hits him. Sneaky Bob runs Flip up into the wall. 10.158 for Farrell Patrick. And Flip gets our first DNF of the night. Right here you see Sneaky Bob gets by Flip and gives Farrell a nice little tap, gets him some momentum. Sneaky Bob gives him another tap. Right there you see old Daddy G gets sideways. Farrell Patrick helps straighten him out. Daddy G's going in reverse. Farrell Patrick makes the pass on the inside right there. There you see the chaos right before the finish line, and Flip gets hung up. Old Larry has been kind of bored tonight. We'll see if he can't get Flip back to the pit area. So now we have Farrell Patrick with 14, Daddy G with 13, Sneaky Bob with 11, and Flip at 5. Now let's move into lap 5. We have Flip and Daddy G in the front row, Sneaky Bob and Farrell Patrick in the back row, and they're off. In turn 1, looks like Flip has got the hole shot. He does. Daddy G gets up and cuts off Sneaky Bob. Farrell Patrick is running in fourth. Sneaky Bob is bumping on Daddy G's bumper. It looks like Flip will run them into the final turn and take the win, followed by Daddy G and Sneaky Bob. And Farrell Patrick got hung up on the wall in the same spot that Flip did. A 9.378 for Flip. Might help Farrell Patrick if you drive in forward mode. Right there you see him back into the wall and get up underneath the down course for the other track. 2 laps in a row, and old Larry's getting some work now. Daddy G leads with 16, Farrell Patrick with 14, Sneaky Bob with 13, and Flip with 10. Let's move into lap 6. Now you have Sneaky Bob and Flip in the front row, Farrell Patrick and Daddy G in the back row, and they're off. They're into turn 1. Sneaky Bob's looking to lead. He will pull a hole shot, followed by Farrell Patrick, but Farrell Patrick spins and gets passed by both Flip and Daddy G, and then he gets back by Daddy G. Sneaky Bob will lead them into the final turn, followed by Flip, Farrell Patrick, and Daddy G. Sneaky Bob will get the win. Here comes Flip. Flip will get second. And oh no, Farrell Patrick and Daddy G get into it right before the finish line. A 9.379 for Sneaky Bob. Still not fast enough to get on the wall. A double DNF for Farrell Patrick. Here you see Farrell Patrick and Daddy G get by him and then right away Farrell Patrick takes that position back away from Daddy G. All for naught though, as they don't even make it to the finish line. There you see Flip coming in for second. See them get stuck. So now we have 3 races in a row with DNFs. And now Sneaky Bob leads with 18, Daddy G with 16, Farrell Patrick with 14, and Flip with 13. Let's move into lap 7. You have Farrell Patrick and Sneaky Bob on the front row, followed by Daddy G and Flip, and they're off. Heading to the first turn, and looks like Farrell Patrick's got a nice little lead. Sneaky Bob's got a run, but Farrell Patrick will fizz it off. Sneaky Bob gets by Daddy G. Oh, he gets up on the wall and gets stuck. And loses momentum and dies out in the turn, and so does Flip and Daddy G. Farrell Patrick will come down here and get the win and be the only finisher. A 9.765 for Farrell Patrick, and we have a triple DNF. Right there you see Farrell Patrick cut down in front of Sneaky Bob. Sneaky Bob gets by Daddy G. Flip's trying to get by Daddy G, but can't do it. Sneaky Bob's up on the wall. That's what happened to him. He gets spun around backwards and loses it all. And old Flip and Daddy G are fighting it out, and they get stuck. So now with that, the points turn upside down. Farrell Patrick with 19, Sneaky Bob with 18, Daddy G with 16, and Flip with 13. Lap 8, up next. Now you have Daddy G and Farrell Patrick in the front row, Flip and Sneaky Bob in the back row, and they're off. It looks like Daddy G's got a slight lead. No, here comes Farrell Patrick, and Farrell Patrick will get the hole shot. And Daddy G is pushing on his bumper hard, followed by Sneaky Bob. Sneaky Bob's trying to get to the inside of Daddy G. Oh, Sneaky Bob pushes Daddy G right off of the track. And we lost our camera. We have Farrell Patrick comes for the win, followed by Sneaky Bob and then Flip. A 9.629 for Farrell Patrick. And Daddy G sits up there, and it looks like we might have got a couple spectators. Right there you see Farrell Patrick get by Daddy G. Sneaky Bob passes Flip and gets up in front of him and starts beating on Daddy G's door. And then right here he starts getting up underneath him. Daddy G tries to cut down, but it is not what he needed to do at that point in time. He gets pushed off the track right here. It does not look like the spectators were hit. It looks like they jumped out of the way. So after the paramedics checked them out, they are fine. But final points after 8 laps. Farrell Patrick with 24, Sneaky Bob with 21, Daddy G with 16, and Flip with 15. How does that look for the points? Farrell Patrick comes back and wins the whole tournament with 76 total points. Daddy G with 72, Flip with 70, and Sneaky Bob with 66. And now congratulations to Farrell Patrick, sitting in that number 1 podium spot as his truck gets to hold that trophy for him. Everybody's grabbed a beer from Founders or some moonshine from Cousin Ricky. They're sitting and enjoying the show. There's Sticky Bob's up there, 4th place to the left. We got Flip and Daddy G up there in 2nd and 3rd. Daddy G 2nd, Flip 3rd. Thank everybody who participated in this tournament. This is a fun tournament with a lot of good looking cars. Sorry, a lot of good looking trucks. Here are the final points. Dusty Miles was 5th, Numbskull was 6th, Outlaw was 7th, Killer Kowalski was 8th, Rosemary was 9th. You can pause that and look. Please like and subscribe and share this video. And as always, thanks for watching.